This is a sight we are all too familiar with, the supermarket aisle. But do we really know what we are putting into our trolleys and our bodies? When we think of sugar, we think of jellies and chocolates. But actually, it's in most of our everyday products. I bet you didn't know sugar was in your bread, pasta sauce, and even those muesli bars that claim to be healthy.
I'm absolutely stunned. I know my family's often, we've gone for sort of like low fat, trying to be healthy, and now reading more lately about sugar, finding out that that's really a hidden issue within a lot of foods. I've just changed even recently just the spaghetti sauce we use, the soups we're having. I'm actually trying to have a lot more sort of unprocessed things and making them from home, from scratch now, because there is so much sugar in everything.
I'm really surprised. I didn't notice how bad it was until I had my son, and he really made me start looking at the ingredients and everything.
And you realise there's lots of sugar?
Heaps of sugar. I'm very careful about what I buy now.
People say that you can really just shop around the outside of a supermarket. You really don't need to go up and down the aisles, and you really shouldn't, because that's where the bad part is. So if you go around the outside, you get your meats on one side and your fruit and veg on the other, and dairy if you have it. You can quite easily do your shop like that, because there's really not much in those middle sections that you really need. Generally it's been packaged, and generally anything packaged has had sugar added to it and any nutrients stripped from it, because everyone has been so focused on that the fat is the big problem, the fat's causing cholesterol. But in fact the studies that are coming through now are actually showing that it is the sugar that's causing those problems. A lot of those studies that were done 10, 15 years ago were a little bit tainted, they have shown, in the way the data was collected, and a lot of it through different companies sponsoring some of their studies, that the facts weren't really true. So what they're seeing now is that people, just by reducing their sugar and starting to eat good fats, a lot of those health things are being able to be reversed. But a lot of the disease, like diabetes and autoimmune diseases, heart disease, are linked to that high sugar diet.
I quit sugar for 6 months when I got back from a Europe trip, and where I was eating and drinking a lot, so I needed a lifestyle change as soon as I returned. I went about that by cutting out sugar. I thought that was the best way to go about it. It was really hard at first, even the simple things like no sugar in your tea and your coffee, and then you kind of look into it and you see that sugar is in so much that you buy at the supermarket, your breads, your cereals and yogurts, and it makes a really difficult lifestyle change to go straight into it. I don't think it's manageable long term, but it's definitely good for a short amount of time to make yourself more aware of how much sugar is in everything. And
nutritionist Karen England says the new sugar guideline suggests we should only be eating 5 to 10 grams of sugar a day. This means a good protein like salmon, salads, lower sugar fruits, and good fats like avocado and nuts and seeds.
Say that, and I've worked with a lot of people that are addicted to sugar. I think probably most people are, and even people that eat a relatively healthy diet still have too much sugar in their diet, and it's really, really hard to get off it.
I mean, sugar causes dental decay. I mean, dental decay is not the only disease you can get of your mouth, but it's one of the two most common diseases that you get. And sugar, basically, when it goes into the mouth, we've all got bugs in our mouths. We'd hate to see the sort of bugs that we've got in our mouths. But those bugs use that sugar to make acid, and it's the acid that actually eats away the teeth. So, for example, uni students not eating the best, snacking and picking at bits and pieces of food, and probably eating a lot of commercial takeaway food that I won't mention the name of, most of which is laden in sugar, as you know. Soft drink is a big thing, and particularly, for example, the use of recreational drugs in that generation is often accompanied by high use of soft drinks and the erosive effect. So in effect, a soft drink is like a mild acid, so it can actually damage your teeth by just eating away at the enamel of the teeth.
Now, for us millennials, cutting sugar out of our everyday lives may seem impossible. We are a generation full of contradictions. We are obsessed with our health one minute, but want to be lazy binge eaters the next. We seem to be focused on extremes, but as the age-old saying goes, everything in moderation. Living a healthy life means finding the right balance, especially with the foods we eat. It's about eating good, basic fruit and vegetables, but not feeling guilty about that chocolate bar every now and again. Keely McDonough, Gen Y.